Good afternoon, everyone. Robusta and Arabica coffee, highest prices ever recorded, blizzards ripping. And we look at history, crystal daggers and jade daggers being found across the planet. What is with the unearthing? Let's take a look at it. Starting off with the blizzards here. Now this is pushing before the storm front came in. This apparently happens after the lakes are freezing. When they get winds pushing in a certain direction consistently, they'll get these ice tsunamis here. 140, they don't move very fast. Eventually that will stop somewhere. Overhead view, you can see the spin on this deep, deep low. And everywhere you see along the Great Lakes, that is blizzard and going to be, quote, record snow for November. Going to bring you out here 29th. That tongue of cold is just ripping all the way to the southeast U.S. here. It's supposed to be 19 degrees Fahrenheit this evening, East Tennessee. Coming out to December 3rd, even cooler. Wow. All the way down to Florida. Going to get into the freezing temperatures. Luckily behind that, it warms up for just a sliver. And then when we look out at December 8th, what is that strange psychedelic? Driving heating oil and natural gas to record high prices for your local district to pay for it. They've already planned it. Prices up and up. The cold is not stopping. It is going to be tremendous this year. But let's flip back to the major lake effect snowfall. You might see this for one lake. It's kind of unusual for me looking through this for a dozen years here to see such record-breaking lake effect snows along all the lakes simultaneously. Strange indeed. You get a couple lakes, three, but all this is insane what they're looking at here. So we're going to start where it says Burlington, far to the east over there, Vermont, and upstate New York. And we look at Watertown over there, covered by the graph, 64 inches of snow expected. Now they've been updating these forecasts, and they keep increasing every time they put a new forecast out. I don't know about you, 64 inches in one dumping, and then what if there's another right after that, and then we start to get into record rainfalls on the ground are now translating to record snowfalls. We're beginning to see it in the U.S. now. Lake effect snows here, 30 inches. Erie, Ashtabula, luckily Cleveland spared just a couple inches. They get most of the lake effect snow. 1 to 3 inches per hour, and they're looking for a minimum of 28 inches in these areas that are in red. And I started to pull out a couple traffic cams here for you, DOT. This is going to go from what you see here in Ohio and Pennsylvania to totally closed. There's nothing really on the roads anyway. Holiday travel, and it looks like this. Yeah, it's serious. And also on the left side, you're looking at the density here of what would be snow in the atmosphere. That green is the heaviest bands, but you can see where it comes a little further down in Ohio, all the way down past Akron, down toward Canton. But it's going to be continuing for the next day and a half or so, and they are really unsure when this is going to end. And since we're talking about things frozen, I thought I'd bring you the woolly mammoth here that they unearthed in Siberia in the summer. Old dig here from the 1940s. This is the famous elephant they found the DNA from. Very well preserved, that skin. What had happened to cause that type of destruction where things were flash frozen and buried in mud is the question. If you've been feeling constantly tired and sluggish, there's a simple reason why, and it has nothing to do with aging. Good news, you can fix it. It's what we call cellular junk, waste that builds up inside your cells over time. This waste releases harmful chemicals that disrupt your body's normal functions. Cellular junk is the hidden villain draining your energy and stealing your vitality. This information comes straight from Dr. Greg Eckel, a renowned expert in anti-aging medicine with over 20 years of experience. Watch out for the warning signs like constant tiredness, fuzzy thinking, and slower recovery from physical activity. But there's good news. You can cleanse your body from junk right from your home. You just need to know which nutrients support your body's natural cleansing process. You can find out the exact nutrients at agefix2030.com. That's agefix2030.com. Dr. Eckel has released a must-watch video on it, his latest research, and you can get it for free only at agefix2030.com. Watch it now, agefix2030.com, or click on that link in the description box below. And now on with the video. And another question I have is, how are the forecasters not able to know when this lake effect snow is going to end? They're talking about it moving from northwest to west and northeast, and they're unsure when it ends. I thought we had the best satellite technology on the planet, highest apex of whatever in our societies and civilization, but they can't tell you when the snowstorm is going to end. That's how unusual it is. So these totals that I've just showed you are only a benchmark. They are moving by the hour now upward. So at the end of this, we're going to see something historic. And speaking of historic, we all love our warm drinks in the winter. Coffee rocketing to record highs. And I thought, okay, what type of coffee is it? Is it Arabica, like they grow down in Colombia and Brazil, or is it Robusta that they grow in Vietnam? Both. 47-year record high coffee prices. Drought shrinks supply in Brazil. La Nina is going to intensify this. They trade on this for 100 and something plus years on La Nina, El Nino effects on agricultural production. Coffee is going to go lower next year as well, just based on the La Nina intensification pattern coming through June of this year, which is not even, it's 6 months away until it peaks in its coolness, but that generally dries Brazil out. So that dry is going to continue to dry more, and then bitter prices, $3.20 per pound, highest since 1977. I'll bring the charts to you in here. Drought in Brazil, and also incredible flooding in Vietnam. So we're seeing it in both directions here, different parts of the planet, different continents, wiping out now, very visible to the entire planet, our food sources. So as we find the channel here for your coffee futures / prices, bringing you back to 1973. But you notice how it stays in that channel. You got the bottom and also those peaks that have bounced off there 4 times, resistance. Now I'm wondering what's going to go, because generally when you get this type of, now this is long-term chart, short-term chart, whatever. When you get a quadruple bounce off that, usually it's going to just scream right through it. So we're looking at historic prices. Personal call here. Seeing this chart and knowing where it's going with more drought, it would not surprise me if that will continue above $4. Moving over here to Robusta futures. Again, we are at record high prices. And it doesn't matter which chart you're looking at, they're actually scary. And then we saw cocoa run to almost $12,000 a ton, but that was a few months ago, and it's kind of tapered off, but it's still, look at that where it's hanging in the range there from what it used to be. It's still hanging up around $8,000 when it used to be $2,000. That's a 4x increase. Coffee's going to stay in that same high position for a year or more. I mean, you just don't undo a drought in a day and then, hey, prices are back to normal. That's a full season we're missing here. But you can see everything is up and up. It's food, it's energy, it's minerals, it's going to soon to be tariffs, and our lives are going to continue to get more and more expensive. So I don't know how much more the global populace can take of continuous price rises. There was a little reprieve there. You know how prices came down like a couple of percent, and the news like, look, prices are coming down. Compared to what they used to be, I would encourage you to look at the before and after, like where we sit now compared to just a couple of years ago, or 2020 or 2019, and you would still shake your head and go, oh, everything's 3 to 4 times more expensive. So this is going to continue. This is the crystal ball right into 2025. I don't see any respite from this. Everywhere I'm looking is more up, and now with tariffs about to start, even way more up, especially for a lot of importers, countries, and companies that are, pushing things into the U.S. here. Those costs are passed right on to you. The importers don't eat that cost. You as the consumer do. Expect another whatever percent added on top of your goods for whatever those tariff prices are. 10%, 15, 25, you're going to be taking that out of your pocket to pay it. And speaking of resets through history, 5,000-year-old rock crystal dagger. And check out the bottom left there. Is that a Rosicrucian something? We see these same symbols through history routinely. I don't care, 5,000 years ago, 300 years ago, or yesterday, it's always the same. This is Monte Lenino, Southern Spain, that they found this cache. And over to England, somehow they found a jade handle coming from China in England. I thought that's kind of interesting. Let's look at it. Incredible beauty here. The handle is one thing itself, but check out that blade. Now you're telling me this thing some 2,000 years prior, all the jade laying around there as well, definitely connections between Asia and obviously what is England or the UK now. But that type of blade, are you telling me really? That is so advanced technology what you have. That is one of the most stunning examples of something's way wrong with the history we've been told here on how we've developed. And the technology went from horse and wagon to rocket ship. We skipped a fair few chapters where this stone and metallurgy was fused together. And if you're thinking about getting your preps ready, prep with steaks, not crumbles, freeze-dried beef, adapt2030beef.com. That link's in the description box below with tonight's images, stories, so you can do your own research. And also make sure to join us on TikTok /Civilization Cycle, where we've begun to put up shorts. Please support us over there. We get to 1,000 subs, we can go live. See you next time. Bye for now.